Welcome to this ethereal sanctuary where we unravel the mystical threads of twin flame connections. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of a profound enigma, the unyielding nature of divine masculines on their twin flame path. The divine masculine's steadfastness, while often a source of frustration, is a vital element in this cosmic ballet, propelling both partners towards ultimate union and spiritual metamorphosis. It's a dance of push and pull, of resistance and surrender, all orchestrated by the universe to guide these souls towards their highest evolution. So, prepare to dive deep into the ocean of divine masculine psychology, where the currents of ego, fear, and awakening swirl in a mesmerizing dance. Picture this a seasoned hunter, muscles taut, senses alert, facing down a majestic lion in the wild. In that heart-stopping moment, there's no room for doubt, no space for vulnerability. This primal scene encapsulates the very essence of traditional masculine energy, grounded, rational, and emotionally guarded. Now, let's peel back the layers of this metaphor. Society, with its rigid expectations and outdated norms, has long cast men in the role of the stoic hunter. From boyhood, they're taught to be protectors, providers, pillars of unwavering strength. Big boys don't cry, they're told. Man up, society demands. These seemingly innocuous phrases weave a complex tapestry of emotional suppression. But here's where the twin flame journey throws a cosmic curveball. This sacred path isn't just about finding love. It's an ego demolition project orchestrated by the universe itself. Imagine the hunter suddenly finding himself not in the familiar savanna, but in a lush garden of emotions he's never had to navigate before. Through the alchemical process of energetic unity, the divine masculine is abruptly thrust into a whirlpool of feelings. It's as if the floodgates of his heart have burst open, releasing a tsunami of emotions he's spent a lifetime damming up. Can you feel the panic rising in his chest? The fear gripping his very soul? This emotional deluge threatens everything he's ever known about himself. His carefully constructed walls of rationality crumble, leaving him exposed and raw. In this moment of perceived weakness, his ego, that faithful guardian of his masculinity, fights back with all its might. You're losing control, the ego whispers. This vulnerability will be your downfall, it warns. And so, the divine masculine digs in his heels, clinging desperately to the familiar shores of emotional detachment in an ocean of overwhelming love. But here's the beautiful paradox. Dear ones, this stubbornness isn't mere obstinacy. It's a soul in the throes of transformation, a butterfly struggling to break free from its chrysalis. The divine masculine isn't rejecting love. He's grappling with a new way of being that challenges everything he's ever known. Remember, for many divine masculines, this is uncharted territory. They're being asked to embrace a part of themselves they've long denied, to dance with their emotions rather than conquer them. It's like asking a lifelong sprinter to suddenly master the art of ballet. Beautiful, but terrifying in its newness. As the twin flame connection intensifies, it acts like a mirror, reflecting back all the unhealed wounds, all the suppressed emotions. Suddenly, the divine masculine is faced not just with his own feelings, but with the echoes of his twin's emotions too. This empathic awakening can be overwhelming, leading to what might appear as stubborn resistance, but is actually a desperate attempt to regain equilibrium. Moreover, the journey often brings to light aspects of the divine masculine that he's kept hidden even from himself. The gentle nurturer beneath the tough exterior, the sensitive artist behind the logical facade. These parts of self, long suppressed, now demand acknowledgement. This internal revolution can be deeply unsettling, prompting a knee-jerk resistance that manifests as stubbornness. So, the next time you encounter this resistance, pause and send a wave of compassion. See beyond the stubborn exterior to the beautiful, messy process of a soul learning to love itself wholly and completely. For in their struggle, you're witnessing the birth of a new paradigm of masculinity, one that embraces both strength and sensitivity, logic and emotion. Imagine a majestic lion, the king of the jungle, symbol of strength and freedom. Now picture this magnificent creature suddenly confined in a gilded cage. No matter how beautiful or comfortable that cage might be, the lion's instinct is to roar, to fight, to break free. This is the predicament many divine masculines find themselves in on the twin flame journey. Deep within the recesses of the masculine psyche lurks a primal fear, the fear of being swallowed whole, of losing one's individuality in the vast ocean of connection. It's a fear as old as time itself, buried in the collective unconscious of men. This fear isn't just about losing independence, it's about losing the very essence of self. Now, enter the divine feminine, often brimming with love, yearning for connection, and eager to shower her twin with affection. Her intentions are pure, her love boundless. But to the unprepared divine masculine, this tsunami of emotion can feel overwhelming, even suffocating. The more the divine feminine pursues, be it physically, emotionally, or even through constant thoughts and energy projections, the more the divine masculine feels the walls closing in. It's as if his very essence is being threatened, and his instinctive response, to break free, to create distance, to gasp for air in a space he can call his own. This dance of pursuit and retreat is a delicate one. The divine feminine, in her eagerness to connect, may inadvertently push her twin further away. It's a cosmic irony. The very love that's meant to unite becomes the force that separates. But here's where it gets interesting, dear ones. This apparent stubbornness isn't a rejection of love. It's a cry for balance, for space to breathe, to process, to come to terms with the magnitude of the connection. The divine masculine needs time to integrate the intense energies, to find his footing in this new paradigm of love. Consider this. Many men have been conditioned to equate intimacy with loss of self. Society often portrays relationships, especially intense ones, as emerging where individuality is sacrificed on the altar of togetherness. For a divine masculine who has spent a lifetime building his identity, the prospect of losing himself in the twin flame connection can be terrifying. Moreover, the twin flame journey often brings up unresolved issues and past traumas. The divine masculine may find himself grappling with wounds he didn't even know he had. This sudden vulnerability, coupled with the intensity of the connection, can trigger a fight or flight response. And in this case, flight often manifests as stubborn resistance. There's also the aspect of energetic overwhelm. The twin flame connection operates on a soul level, bypassing many of the usual defenses. For a divine masculine who's not used to feeling so deeply, so quickly, this can be incredibly disorienting. It's like suddenly gaining superhuman hearing, overwhelming and potentially painful until one learns to control it. So, if you find yourself in this dance, remember, sometimes the kindest act of love is to step back, to allow space for growth. Trust in the unbreakable cord that binds you. For in giving freedom, you may find that your twin returns not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire for union. For many divine masculines, relationships have been viewed through a lens of simplicity, companionship, physical attraction, societal expectations. But the twin flame connection? It's a whole new ball game, one that demands personal growth, deep healing, and a level of emotional and spiritual responsibility that can feel utterly overwhelming. This journey asks them to confront their shadows, to heal ancestral wounds, to break free from societal conditioning. It's like being asked to climb Mount Everest when they've barely mastered a hill. The sheer magnitude of the task ahead can trigger a stubborn resistance, a childlike refusal to take that first step. The twin flame journey isn't just about finding your other half, it's about becoming whole within yourself. This often means diving deep into childhood traumas, confronting past hurts, and healing wounds that have been festering for years, maybe even lifetimes. For a divine masculine who has been conditioned to tough it out or man up, this call to emotional vulnerability and healing can feel like a betrayal of everything he's been taught about strength. The twin flame journey often comes with a sense of cosmic urgency, a feeling that there's a greater purpose to fulfill. This can create immense pressure, especially for divine masculines who may already feel the weight of societal expectations to be providers and protectors. The idea that their personal growth, or lack thereof, could impact not just their life, but the life of their twin and potentially the world at large can be paralyzing. Many divine masculines find themselves at a crossroads. The path they had envisioned for their life, career goals, personal aspirations, even other relationships, suddenly seems at odds with this cosmic call to union. The fear of losing their individuality, of having to sacrifice their dreams on the altar of this connection, can lead to fierce resistance. The twin flame journey calls for unconditional love, not just for the other, but for oneself. For many divine masculines, the concept of self-love may be foreign, even uncomfortable. They're being asked to embrace parts of themselves they've long rejected, to love aspects of their being they've been taught to suppress. This level of self-acceptance and self-love can feel like an insurmountable task. But here's the beautiful paradox. In embracing this responsibility, in stepping into their role in this divine dance, the divine masculine doesn't lose himself. He finds his true self. The stubbornness you witness is often the last stand of the ego before a profound transformation. This resistance isn't about rejecting you or the connection. It's about grappling with the enormity of their own potential. It's the growing pains of a soul expanding beyond the confines of what it thought possible. So, when you encounter this resistance, remember, you're witnessing the birth pangs of a new being. Your divine masculine is not rejecting you or the connection. He's grappling with the enormity of his own potential. Hold space for this growth. Send love to his inner child and trust in the divine timing of your union. Picture a majestic stallion, mane flowing in the wind, hooves thundering across an open plain. This image captures the essence of masculine energy, wild, free, untamed. Now, imagine trying to corral that stallion. The more you tighten the reins, the more fiercely it bucks and runs. This is the paradox of the divine masculine on the twin flame journey. The very nature of masculine energy is active, assertive, and yes, sometimes rebellious. It's an energy that thrives on conquest, on overcoming obstacles. But what happens when the obstacle is an uncontrollable force of love? Let's delve deeper into this fascinating dynamic. The simple truth is this: the divine masculine is not just created, but conditioned to run. It's encoded in their very DNA, a primal instinct that has ensured survival for millennia. Fight or flight, these are the options hardwired into the masculine psyche in the face of overwhelming emotion or situations they can't control. Many divine masculines default to flight. In the dictionary of the divine masculine, defeat often translates to lack of control. The twin flame connection defies all logic, all previous experiences of love and relationship. It's an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. When they realize they can't control the twin flame connection, or more importantly, their own feelings about it, the instinct is to create distance, to cut ties, to run as far and as fast as they can. The twin flame connection operates on a soul level, bypassing many of the usual defenses. For a divine masculine who's not used to feeling so deeply, so quickly, this can be incredibly disorienting. It's like suddenly gaining superhuman hearing, overwhelming and potentially painful until one learns to control it. Running becomes a way to turn down the volume, to find respite from the intensity. Many divine masculines have been conditioned to view vulnerability as weakness. The twin flame connection, however, demands the complete openness and vulnerability. This clash between conditioning and cosmic demand can trigger a flight response. Running becomes a way to protect themselves from what they perceive as emotional danger. Here's where it gets interesting. The further they run, the more acutely they feel the connection. It's like trying to outrun your own shadow, an impossible feat that only leads you back to yourself. This creates a frustrating cycle where the very act of running reinforces the connection they're trying to escape. Many divine masculines, deep down, may feel unworthy of the profound love that the twin flame connection offers. This sense of unworthiness can stem from past experiences, childhood wounds, or societal conditioning. Running becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, a way to prove to themselves that they don't deserve this love. Sometimes the running is less about escaping and more about creating necessary space. The twin flame journey is intense, and many divine masculines need time to process, to integrate, to come to terms with the profound changes happening within and around them. What looks like running might actually be a crucial part of their growth process. Interestingly, even as they run, many divine masculines feel a subconscious pull towards their twin. This internal conflict, the desire to run versus the soul's yearning for union, can manifest as stubbornness as they struggle to reconcile these opposing forces. But here's the beautiful truth. This running, this apparent stubbornness, is often a necessary part of the journey. It's the divine masculine's way of coming to terms with the magnitude of the connection, of preparing himself for the profound transformation that awaits. So, when you witness this running, this seeming rejection, send love. Understand that it's not about you, it's about their own internal struggle. And know this, every step they take away is actually bringing them closer to the inevitable surrender to love. Imagine, if you will, being in the deepest, most comfortable sleep of your life. Suddenly, an alarm blares. Not just any alarm, but one that seems to resonate through your very soul. This is what the twin flame journey often feels like for the divine masculine, a rude awakening from the slumber of everyday existence. Let's explore this spiritual awakening and the resistance it often triggers in more detail. For divine masculines who have built their lives on logic, reason, and tangible facts, the spiritual nature of the twin flame journey can be deeply unsettling. Suddenly, they're asked to believe in concepts like soul connections, energy merging, and divine timing. It's like being asked to solve a complex equation with tools they've never used before. This clash between the rational mind and spiritual awakening often leads to stubborn resistance. In a world that often scoffs at anything spiritual or mystical, embracing the concept of twin flames and spiritual awakening can feel like social suicide for many divine masculines. They may fear judgment from peers, family, or colleagues. The fear of being seen as weak, crazy, or unmanly can drive them to stubbornly deny the very connection that's calling to their soul. Spiritual awakening often requires a dissolution of the ego, that part of us that clings to identity, to the known, to control. For many divine masculines, the ego has been a faithful protector, a source of strength and identity. As the awakening process begins to chip away at egoic structures, the divine masculine may stubbornly resist, clinging to old patterns and beliefs in an attempt to maintain a sense of self. The twin flame journey often involves a profound balancing of masculine and feminine energies within oneself. For divine masculines who have strongly identified with traditional masculine traits, the emergence of their inner feminine can feel threatening. It's like discovering a part of yourself you never knew existed, beautiful but also deeply unsettling. This internal struggle can manifest as external stubbornness. Many divine masculines have been conditioned to prioritize material success, tangible achievements, and worldly recognition. The twin flame journey often calls for a shift in values, asking them to prioritize spiritual growth and soul connection over material gains. This reprioritization can feel like giving up everything they've worked for, leading to stubborn resistance. Spiritual awakening often comes with a sense of higher purpose or mission. For divine masculines who may already feel burdened by worldly responsibilities, this additional cosmic duty can feel overwhelming. The fear of not being good enough or ready for this spiritual role can cause them to stubbornly resist the call. But here's the beautiful truth. This stubborn resistance is often the last gasp of the ego before a profound transformation. It's like the cocoon tightening around the butterfly just before it breaks free. The divine masculine isn't rejecting awakening. They're in the process of awakening, even if it looks like resistance from the outside. This phase of stubborn resistance is actually a crucial part of the awakening process. It's the divine masculine grappling with their expanded reality, integrating new truths, and preparing for a profound shift in consciousness. So, when you encounter this spiritual stubbornness, remember, you're witnessing a soul in the throes of evolution. Send love, send light, and trust in the process. Hold space for their journey, understanding that each soul must awaken in its own time and way.